Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and today's video is brought to you by Personal Responsibility. I wish a lot more people had it, but ladies and gentlemen, today's video is about Elon Musk. And Elon's getting sued for $250 billion in regards to Dogecoin. Now you might be like, whoa, I'm having deja vu, Muta. Didn't you talk about this 7 months ago? Absolutely I did. I make sure I have a catalog of every video that I make. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to Dogecoin, Elon's getting hit with it because he promoted it pretty hard. Now, of course, if it's one thing that I'm going to give Elon Musk credit for, is the dude is a hype man, confidence man, whatever you want to call it. Now, of course, to a lot of the crazy fanboys, I'm going to remind you, Marvel movies are not real. Tony Stark is not a real character. No one man can be an expert in nearly every sort of engineering field out there. In reality, Elon's a rich guy that has engineers working for him. Engineers making talented stuff at Tesla, SpaceX, Boring Company, I guess, building tunnels that... Let's just get out of it. Starlink, so on and so forth. Now, with a lot of these companies, they do pretty cool stuff, but Elon over promotes or over during any form of showcase, he'll definitely promise things like the robo-taxi and so on and so forth way ahead of time, even if it's not possible. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, why are we talking about his Dogecoin lawsuit? Well, given the fact that he's a hype man, a hype beast, one of the chief lawsuits is him apparently promoting Dogecoin and absolutely causing people to lose over $80 billion of cash. Now, if you look at Twitter, you'll see that he replaced the bird as a joke with the Shiba Inu, denoting Dogecoin, okay? Doge is back, babies. And Elon's got a history of promoting this kind of shit. Now, because of Elon promoting this, there has been a cost for his lawyers to come out and dismiss that lawsuit. So Elon Musk's lawyers actually ended up trying to do a motion to dismiss the lawsuit last Friday. And basically they said the lawsuit's garbage. The plaintiffs never actually described how Elon Musk's statements ever actually defrauded people. Now, of course, the complaint is a fanciful work of fiction that fails to state any actionable claim against defendants Musk and Tesla and must be dismissed in its entirety with prejudice. So they actually want it removed, but they want it removed so hard from the record, it actually has backlash for the people issuing it in the first place. There's nothing unlawful about tweeting words for support or funny pictures about a legitimate cryptocurrency. Now, we're going to look into this a little bit harder than last time, because last time I looked at this in amongst a bunch of other pieces of information regarding cryptocurrency scams. Now, of course, if you look into Dogecoin, one of the biggest conspiracy theories is one of the accounts apparently owning a massively large amount of Dogecoin. So somewhere around 33.5 billion Doge owned, which comes up to currently valued at $3.3 billion. Now, of course, if you look at Dogecoin real quickly, one of the things that people really got to tell you about with alternate coins is in Dogecoin, the top 10 to 100 people own around 66.9% of the coins. When it comes to these pump and dump situations, when the bottom 30% puts their money in, the bottom 80% in a lot of cases put their money in, the top 10% of the holders typically will, at that moment when the price has peaked, will just dump their Dogecoin to actually make the money back and leaving hardcore bags for the people at the bottom. It's why we call it a pump and dump. The people at the bottom pump it, the people at the top dump it. They make a crap ton of money and the people at the bottom never recover. Now, of course, if you look at Dogecoin, Dogecoin was not something that is brand new. Dogecoin has been around since 2013. And of course, if you looked into Dogecoin itself, it's effectively just a copy of Litecoin, which is one of the earliest alternate coins that existed. Now, while Dogecoin will say they've got utility, it was first meant to be a joke, and don't worry, it is. It was used to achieve things like the Jamaican bobsled team to tip them, water wells in Kenya, which is great, and then the Dogecoin car. And believe it or not, that is actually fucking true. The Dogecoin car is in fact a real thing. You can even look at it in NASCAR when they actually did get something advertised. And believe it or not, out of the one NASCAR crash, it was the fucking Doge car that crashed too, ladies and gentlemen. Could you imagine just the odds of it? Dogecoin, the car that it was representing was the one that crashed in, representing what happened to the stock price, the price chart of Dogecoin itself. If you look into Dogecoin's price, back in the day, it used to be worth fractions of a goddamn penny, all right? Literally fractions of a penny at one point. Now, of course, at the highest peak, it was around 72 cents per coin. Now, of course, because of that Shiba Inu and Elon Musk promoting Dogecoin again, it jumped up 25% in just the last 24 hours alone. Again, these are speculative assets. In my opinion, if you're putting your life savings into buying Dogecoin, you're a fucking idiot. Now, there's people who are like, but I put in $100 and I made $200 out of it. That's cool. You played a gamble and you succeeded that gamble, all right? That's cool for you to do. But in genuine actuality, there's really no analysis to it. There's no logic behind this. People are just gambling their money away, hoping that it triples overnight. And in some cases, it can. And then it's even harder to get that money out when everyone's trying to cash out their Dogecoin winnings for actual tangible currency. For currency to work, it needs real-world utility, which most of these cryptocurrencies do not have. If Elon Musk genuinely fucking believed in Dogecoin, he would be allowing you to buy Twitter Blue with Dogecoin cryptocurrency. At one point, you could buy a Tesla with Bitcoins, but I'm pretty sure the accountants jumped in and told him, listen, buddy, let's not fuck up our books that bad, okay? Let's not go down that road. So, of course, Elon doesn't really believe in it because his own platform doesn't allow taking it, all right? Maybe that could change in the next 24 hours. After all, Twitter lately has been just bad decision after bad decision. Hell, the fucking site alone is worth half of what Elon paid for it initially. Now, of course, going back, this one wallet address, DH5YAI, whatever you want to call it, this Dogecoin address, currently one of the largest holders for Dogecoin, is the one people have been looking at relatively hard. Now, it's owned by Robinhood, or at least that's the wallet tag that's been put onto it. And while it is the largest owner, around 24% of the actual circulating Dogecoin supply is in this one wallet alone. Now, of course, even the people behind Robinhood came out and pretty much said, that's not them, that's just them owning the cash or holding it for people who are using their platform. So they literally said right over here, to put a super fine point, on behalf of the firm, we don't trade, hold, or lend, and we don't take part in any activity when it comes to cryptocurrency. The only thing we do is at the direction of our customers, buy and sell on their behalf. Now, who owns this entire wallet, or if this wallet is even owned by just one person, rather it just being like a total supply that's divided amongst like tens of thousands of people, is a question millions of people can ask. There's been a lot of conspiracy theories around this one wallet, and if Elon Musk himself owns it. The only person to gain from Elon's constant posting about Dogecoin would be this wallet, okay? If they're pushing out a crap ton of money and profiteering off of it, and again, the goddamn billions. And of course, it's because of lawsuits like this that maybe if they were taken far enough, through phases like discovery, we could find out if Elon Musk and how much of Dogecoin that he owns. He buys it, clearly we know it, but how much of it does he own and how much does he profit off of his tweets is a whole different question. If he is legitimately manipulating the price, it could be really bad for somebody like Elon Musk. So of course, in this lawsuit, we're going to go through it again in further detail, Elon Musk, SpaceX, and Tesla are engaged in a crypto pyramid scheme as part of Dogecoin currency. So again, obviously, they're trying to tell you Dogecoin is not worth anything. The price simply gets manipulated, and the people losing it are the ones that follow Elon's, advice. For them to even say the word advice, they have to prove that Elon was actually giving this as financial advice, which this lawsuit doesn't really do a great job of, but we'll get to it. So, of course, they said the plaintiff have lost approximately $86 billion in this scheme. Again, like I said earlier, personal responsibility. If you're dumb enough to buy into this and you put your whole life savings into this goddamn meme currency, you're a fucking idiot. And you deserve to probably lose some of that money, in my opinion. But of course, let's look at their statement of facts. So in 2013, Dogecoin was launched by co-founders Billy Marcus and Jackson Palmer at 0.02 of a penny in its initial value. So of course, in 2019, Musk started talking to those developers and providing them advice and sharing his vast Rolodex of contacts. Again, like I said earlier, how much of it did he buy and how much of it does he profiteer off of when it comes to, him promoting it? If it turns out that he's promoting Dogecoin and raising the value or killing the value and buying and selling it in accordance to those tweets, it would be pretty bad for Elon Musk. And again, if the SEC goes into it and looks into it as a security, if it passes the Howey test, which it probably won't since Bitcoin doesn't pass the Howey test, and Dogecoin also falls into the same tier, Obviously, if it passes the 4 prongs, which is an investment of money, is a common enterprise, a reasonable expectation of profit, and derived from the efforts of others, if it passes all 4 of these, it could get even worse if the SEC chooses to look into it. And they've already started to look into influencers and their promotion of cryptocurrencies. For them to go right after Elon Musk would be a bigger deal. But I don't think it's possible, really, because Elon's so rich and so far entrenched in that I don't think the system's ever going to go against one of their own. I'm sorry. All these laws only apply to you and me, the people at the bottom of the ladder, not the people at the top like Elon Musk. So in this entire lawsuit, out of 100 points in discovery of facts, they literally catalog almost every tweet Elon makes, and they actually time it with the rise and fall of that Dogecoin currency, which is an interesting point to make. So they literally tell you at certain dates, Dogecoin was trading at 3 pennies. And then Musk posts 4 tweets, such as no highs, no lows, only Doge. And Dogecoin is the people's crypto. I wanted to fact check this myself and make sure Elon Musk actually said this. And some of these tweets are actually up, like Dogecoin is the people's crypto. No need to be a gigachad to own. Then, of course, you've got the future currency of Earth, Dogecoin to the moon. And then, of course, who let the Doge out? Man, this is the cringiest Twitter feed I've ever read. Jesus Christ. Then, of course, he also flipped the script one time and said, if major Dogecoin holders sell most of their coins, it will get my full support. At some moment talking about people zeroing out their position. So again, both sides of the fence are being played. And one aspect of this lawsuit that if it goes through, if it doesn't get thrown out by the courts, which it may, I want to see if Elon Musk, if he was buying and selling Dogecoin in accordance to these tweets. That would be really bad. And of course, it doesn't just stop there. It even mentions his SNL skits where he went on to the entire SNL and did an entire sequence, an entire segment in 2021. And basically, after that segment had happened, it like dropped. The value just started tanking. So again, because this cryptocurrency literally lives and dies by somebody memeing, the richest guy in the world memeing, obviously the price can be, up and down. The price can be raised and deflated. And of course, if Elon Musk is taking advantage of that, that can be an issue. Now again, Elon was never still, in that case, providing any financial advice. He's just promoting the cryptocurrency. He's not telling you to go buy it. Again, if you follow Elon Musk, which again, I understand both points, image intimidation. He's one of the richest guys in the world. If he's promoting something financial, you probably want to take part into it. It obviously breeds some level of legitimacy, and I'm sure somebody who doesn't know anything about financial advice would jump in and buy this coin, even if it's $100 at a time. And because Elon never provided the advice, this lawsuit is kind of like, a 50-50 as far as it's considered. And again, I'm not a lawyer, but I can't really see where this lawsuit necessarily proves Elon was ever giving advice. He was promoting it. He clearly appears to be manipulating the price, but was he ever telling people to buy it? Probably not. So where it gets into the tier of let's not have any fucking personal responsibility in this lawsuit, they literally said, so the defendants violated civil RICO, which is a racketeering case. Again, you might have heard RICO in regards to criminal enterprises like the mob or the cartel. But in this case, they're talking about racketeering interstate commerce, which kind of does fall in line here. Of course, you've got defendants have violated federal and state gambling laws, common law fraud, fraud akin to a pyramid scheme. So again, how did they do it? First, they said it's a wire fraud, okay? So defendants purchasing, marketing, advertising, promoting, and manipulating Dogecoin on the internet, inclusive of changes in the United States and internationally, constitutes an illegal wire fraud enterprise. I don't know if that exactly holds any weight, but then again, I'm not a lawyer, but seems kind of weird to me. Dogecoin is a crypto pyramid scheme created, promoted, and advertised by Musk, Tesla, and SpaceX. Defendants falsely and deceptively claim that Dogecoin is a legitimate investment when it has no value at all. That would be pretty big if true, if you could even prove that, which unfortunately they're not really able to do that. Again, you're pretty much relying on some interpretation. Again, none of those tweets ever specifically made him say that it was an investment. Defendant Musk falsely stated that Dogecoin is money. That's not a false statement. Cryptocurrency is real cash. Now, whether it's worthwhile cash in comparison to the US dollar or other tangible currencies is a whole different question. Then, of course, they mention gambling. What? Gambling is accepting, recording, or registering bets or carrying on a policy game or any other lottery. So again, Dogecoin co-creator Shibatoshi Nakamoto tweeted that cryptocurrency buying and selling is not investment, it is gambling. That's kind of a dirty blow right there, but I can understand the joke. Obviously, buying and selling stocks, some people have said, is like gambling. And here's the thing with gambling. Gambling involves that you are in a game of chance. You're playing things like cards, slots, you name it. Yes, buying stocks and cryptocurrencies involve chances. Yes, but there is actual analysis you can do that doesn't necessarily put it on the level of gambling. So no, I don't, you can't just say this is gambling. Chris Lars, president of Ripple, stated there's not any distinction between investing in Dogecoin and touring to Las Vegas. I mean, the moment they're starting to say this kind of shit, the moment that they're referencing all these other people mentioning it, it kind of sounds really bad. But to prove that this is gambling, you literally have to flip the entire definition of investing money and say all of it's basically just gambling at the end of the day. I'm sure life is just gambling at the end of the day, okay? It's just a flip of the die, so to speak, a flip of the coin. Again, to prove this is a totally different thing, and you're definitely going to have to test the court onto it. Then, of course, they mention common law fraud. Plaintiff repeats and reiterates all prior paragraphs. Defendants are engaged in a fraudulent crypto pyramid scheme. Defendants are aware since 2019 that Dogecoin had no value, yet promoted Dogecoin to profit from its trading. That's pretty true, actually. Obviously, none of these cryptocurrencies have any utility or value, and these companies and Elon are not actually generating any value out of it. So again, promoting it might have just been a dumb idea. What's important is negligence here. Plaintiff reiterates again, defendant encouraged millions of people to buy and sell hundreds of billions of dollars of Dogecoin. Again, encourage is a better term here because encouragement, yes, some of those tweets do read like encouragement. And again, like I mentioned earlier, this is the richest guy in the world talking about something financial. His endorsement, his encouragement comes with people taking that as gospel. And that's something, if you're in that space, if you're that rich, is something you have to understand. I don't promote crypto because I know that while I can afford losses, people that follow me probably can't. And obviously, I don't want to get in trouble with any financial organization if I promote any cryptocurrency that people who follow me can constitute as financial advice. Elon is the richest guy in the world with one of the biggest platforms ever. He should be more careful. So this 8th cause of action is the one that's really, really, really heavy. So you can see right over here in 209, defendants were enriched at the expense of plaintiffs and the class. Now that actually involves the mention that so basically the people here lost their 86 billion and they're kind of implying that Elon Musk made some of that money. Elon Musk indirectly participated in a pump and dump, which, if true, would be really bad for Musk. And again, if there's any weight in him being one of the largest owners of Dogecoin and this lawsuit going through, I can imagine why his lawyers are involved in trying to throw this away or get it dismissed. If in discovery it turns out that Elon is one of the largest holders, it can be real bad if it turns out, hey, I'm also promoting this coin, I'm also deflating its value from time to time, and then if it turns out his accounts are buying and selling in accordance with those tweets, like I said earlier, can be really bad for the guy. So again, where it really kind of sucks is when you read further into it. So he wants an amount of $86 billion, so sorry, the class does, and then they're doing treble damages, which is in the $172 billion range, and then of course attorney fees and the costs of this action alone. Now, this is where it gets into frivolous lawsuit territory. 86 billion is an insane amount of monetary damages from the class. And when you treble that out, which you absolutely could, that might be the one thing that is absolutely kicking them in the ass. But even before that, they want to make sure that trading the Dogecoin constitutes gambling. Again, that's insane. That's like saying buying any crypto or buying any stock or any index fund or anything could potentially be gambling. You are literally extrapolating the definition of gambling just to not take any fucking responsibility in buying a meme coin. Again, at the end of the day, this is a lawsuit run by actual fucking morons who chose to buy into a Dogecoin meme. You shouldn't have done it in the first place. I have sympathy, but you shouldn't have done it in the first place, for crying out loud. Now, of course, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I want to leave this lawsuit where it's at. I looked further into it. I wanted to really get down to the meat and potatoes. And it really doesn't seem good for Elon Musk if this does go through, because when the facts and the statements come out and people look into his wallets, and I really do want to see at the end of the day how much Elon actually put into Dogecoin. Because if Elon has put money into Dogecoin and he's promoting it for the last 2 years, and it turns out that he must have enriched himself if he's tweeting and artificially manipulating the price, this could be really bad. Remember, this is a man that already got fined because of what he did with Tesla stock. And if it turns out that he's doing something fucking shady with Dogecoin, it could be really, really bad for Elon Musk. But then again, that requires a lot of ifs and a lot of truths to come out. But again, we'll have to see what happens. This lawsuit is currently being thrown into several motions to get it removed. And it probably will be removed. I'm going to have to imagine, the system never really goes up against the biggest guy in the world. But if the SEC and a few of these people want to make an example out of Musk, this might be the one thing they're looking into. This might be the one avenue they go down and look into and see if this guy has actually enriched himself by promoting this meme currency. And again, it would be the biggest story in not just crypto, but like financial news in the last 3 decades if it turns out to be true, in my opinion at least. But ladies and gentlemen, Streisand effect kicked in, Elon wanted this removed, and I wanted to look into this lawsuit even closer and some of the conspiracy theories surrounding it. While I'm not, confirming any conspiracy theory, I think there's a lot of circumstantial evidence that should be taken, that should be assessed, and I feel like a lot of the law enforcement agencies that are looking into it should take that into account and look deeper into Musk and just how much he really cares about Dogecoin. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am